Oh my goodness. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I am so sorry that I'm late. I am so sorry. But daddy duty's called and I had to take care of that. But I'm here now. So welcome to part 2 of the video game, plug on my phone, video game development series with Babylon.js. And today we are going to be creating the environment. Let me go ahead and just pull up. I'll just pull up what we made last time. Last time we just basically set up a basic wireframe for a game. We got a square, we got a ball here in the square. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a skybox, and then we're going to add a map and a texture to this grid, and we're going to make it bigger. And depending on how much time all that takes, we're going to add some a height map and add some random terrain in there. But if not, we will continue with that on in the next video. So my aim is to try to keep these videos under an hour, just because I know past an hour, I start to lose people's attention. So I'm just going to break it up into tiny segments, and we're going to go on from there. So the first thing we're going to add is a skybox. So if you look right now, you can see that basically we have a blue world, a blue sky around us. I don't even know where I went. Oh, there we go. We got this blue sky around us, right? And nothing else. Let me... I don't even know where I'm at. I'm just going to refresh. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a sky around it. So in order to add a skybox in Babylon, basically you need 6 PNG or JPEG, basically images, and that coordinate to the positive and the negative X, Y, and Z axis. So that when you look linearly, it'll look like this. You got the negative Z, negative X, positive Z, positive X, and then the negative Z again. And then then you have the positive Z or positive Y, negative Y. So your world is really a 3-dimensional cube, okay? And then inside of this cube, you got 6 images to represent each face of the cube, the interior of the cube. So you're inside of the cube, looking at the inside of the cube. Does that make sense? Of course it does. So so remember, this is your Y, this is your Z, this is your X. Okay. So your positive Y in this case will be the sun. If you think about it, you look straight up, you're going to see the sun. Okay. Your positive X would be this right here. Your negative X would be this right here, positive Z, negative Z. And then when you look around, it looks like a big sky. So it's really simple to do in Babylon.js. Basically, you create a box using the built-in mesh builder. You give it a size, and then you pass it the scene. So we're going to make it a size of 1,000. We're going to pass the scene that we created last broadcast. We're going to turn backface culling on false. I'll explain what backface culling and all that is when we get more in depth with animations and stuff. But right now, just know you got to set that to false. You set the reflection texture equal to the skybox. You're going to pass it the folder that contains all your 6 skybox images, and they have to be named, skybox underscore, and then you gotta have the NX, NY, NZ, PX, PY, PZ. You pass that the scene, and then you set the coordinate mode equal to skybox mode, and that just tells it that this texture, this reflection texture, is going to be on the inside of the cube, the box that we created. And then we want to set the diffuse color and the specular color, and that has to do with lighting, lighting and shadows. We'll cover that more in depth later. Let me pop that out. There we go. and then skybox that reflection texture. All right, so available textures in the playground. We got skybox and we got the sunny. Okay, yeah, that's we don't need that. So let's head over to the code. Well, before we head over to the code, let's find a skybox. So I found these on custom map makers. We got these different skyboxes. I'm gonna play with something funky. Yeah, let's do some mountains in the background. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see, does this have the right? These are .tgas. I need a .png. Where are these from? Texturex.com. Let's open link, a new tab. Let's visit. Yeah, choose, let's see. Choose the option. Okay. $5. I'm not paying you guys. All right. So let's find something that's free. I had a link up earlier. Where did I get that? Free skyboxes community. Let's see what these are. Let's try this one. Package contents. Let's see the package preview. VX's landscape. Okay, these are dot material. Oh wait, hold on. Skybox 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, okay, yeah, I don't think this. Let's see, free graphics pictures, Babylon.js, skybox. I'm surprised they don't have a default one that's built in. Let's see. Okay, sky material, that's not what I'm looking for. Maps for the web. Alright, well, luckily, on my other project on GitHub, I had already made one. Not the game tutorial. Wait, game tutorial. Add terrain and sky texture. Okay, cool. So let's do resources, or not resources. App. What's resources? Assets. JS. Components, component. Save that. Skybox. Let's go to Skybox. Public. Skybox. Alright, cool. Actually, this now does it. Sorry, it's taking way too long. So I'm just going to go over here. Just copy this folder over. Skybox. Copy Skybox. Then we're going to go to home programs. Babylon demo. And we're gonna paste. All right. Public. We got Skybox. All right, cool. So this is our Skybox. We got like this outer spacey thing going on here. So we're just going to use this one. All right. So let's head over to our resources. Let's head over to our game component. And then we're going to create a new function called create skybox. Let's put it right here. We're going to create skybox. And let's go ahead and just copy what they have here, and then we'll just modify it. So let's get this situated. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, or the second thing we're going to do, is we're going to add a new variable. We're going to add a skybox variable. We're going to do this dot skybox Babylon. We're going to call it skybox. Going to keep it 1,000, and then we're going to call this dot scene. Yeah. Actually, let me go ahead. I believe I already have a terminal. Yep. All right. CD programs game tutorial. Oh, it's not game tutorial, it's Babylon. Demo, and then we're gonna do a camera watch poll. All right. And that's gonna save our changes and run everything in the background. We got this dot scene. We just called it skybox, not textures.skybox. Actually, you know what? We should make it textures.skybox. Let's make a new folder. We'll call it textures. We just want to keep everything organized. Let's move this right there. scene. Skybox must have upload. Alright. We'll keep the, we don't need the skybox material, but we do need this dot skybox material. Alright, cool. And then we simply call our skybox method this. Actually, let's make this just to keep it consistent with what we've been doing. Alright, this dot skybox equals this dot create skybox. Oops. This dot create skybox. Save. All right, cool. That compiled. It compiled, but I'm not seeing a difference. Console. My engine started. Okay. Let me try JS. Let's reload it. Error while trying to load image textures. Okay. Did I spell it right? Let me see. Let's go back to the TEXTURES / skybox. Let's see. Textures skybox / skybox. So I wasn't okay. Let me move all of this. Oh man. All right. Wow. I'm just gonna do this. All right, let's try this again. Boom. All right. So now if you look up, you look around, we got this awesome skybox everywhere we go. All right. So now we have this skybox. And even as we get closer and closer and closer, eventually we'll run past. All right. and we're going to change these controls. I just wanted to show you the box that you were in. So basically, oopsie. So basically, you were inside of a cube. Okay. And inside of this, and so what you're seeing is the inside. It's a reflection. So we go in. And then we come out. It's not scary looking, actually. All right, and then keep going. You can kind of see where the corners and stuff are, but anyway, I'm just gonna refresh. All right, so now we've added our skybox. Now let's make our grid. Let's make our plane a little bigger, like a lot bigger. So we create the scene, create the camera, create the sphere, create the ground. All right, so we're gonna make the width, we're gonna make it 600, we're gonna make this 600. Number of subdivisions, I don't know, we'll make it 4. All right, we're gonna save that. Oops, did I completely exit it out? Oh man, I should have done that. All right, well, while I was doing that, another thing we want to do, let's add a loading screen. Let's add a loading screen so right now, basically what happens is you refresh the page and it shows that first and then everything loads up. And, you know, that don't look good. We want our stuff to look good when it loads. So, let's go back. I'm off the top of my head. Actually, let's go to the code. Let's go to my resources. That says JavaScript components, game component. And what did I do? All right, register before. We will. There's something I'm going to do. Let's adjust the camera so that, because right now we can go below the plane, right? And we don't want that. If you try to go below the plane, that means you're going underneath the ground. So we're going to add this before render function, and it's going to look for the where the camera is, and if the camera is below the ground, it's going to autocorrect. And then we have to register this before render. We have to register this function to be called before the render function is called. Otherwise, it's going to draw things out of order. is. Okay. And then right before the render, register before render. This is some code from another thing I did on my GitHub. I'm working on a game, and I don't remember most of this code off the top of my head, so you know, it's not plagiarizing, it's your own code. All right, so this register before render. Okay. All right, cool. So let's start it. Let's save it, and then let's start it, and you'll see. And as far as and then before we do the render loop, or not the render loop, the loading screen, I want to go ahead and get to the height map. Actually, I'll think about it. Let's go. All right, cool. So we got the earth. We got the height map. All right, we're gonna copy. We'll move these into the textures. Where's it paste? All right. Cool. All right. So what I was doing just now, the next thing we're going to do after I show you this camera trick is we're going to create, add a texture to our ground and add some mountains. So I went ahead and just copy some of the textures over from my other game over. So where is, okay. So let's go ahead and refresh. And the game is white. All right, inspect. Let's head over to console. Syntax error, unexpected token, line 84. Before, from. Gotcha. All right, let's try again. Can I read beta of undefined? Goodness gracious. All right, this camera. Oh, I don't have the camera defined. Duh. All right. That's an easy fix. All right, so that's this camera. This camera. This camera. And then simply create a camera object. All right, let's try this one more time. We'll refresh. Oh. I forgot the plane is a white plane. So, all right. So as you can see in the distance, it's not working as intended. There's the edge of the plane right there. There's the ball. And let's inspect this again. Go to the console. Okay, we got no issues here. All right, cool. So now here's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to change this so that it's not white. We're going to put a picture of the earth. And then what we're going to do after that is wherever we're going to take the grayscale of that image, and wherever there is white, there's going to be mountain terrain. So based off that grayscale image, we're going to do what's called a Perlin noise generate mountains based off that image. And this is what's called a height map. So I've already added the images. Here's the earth, and here's the height map of the earth. All right, so just head over back again to my other code. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the ground, and we're going to change it to create ground from heightmap. We're going to pass it the heightmap .jpg file that I just showed you. That's the first thing we're going to do. And that's going to be in the scene. So we're going to place this create ground method with this. And that is in textures. We made this 600 by 600. All right. And then we want the ground to receive shadows. So I can't remember if I got that function to work or not. And then we have a create material function. And this create material function is what generates the textures and everything for all the meshes, specifically the ground. We aren't doing any doing the Earthland. Ground, main count. So we need ground material, asset manager, ground. Okay. So we got ground, need ground material. Asset manager. Material, asset manager. Okay. And then we're gonna call this dot create material. We're gonna pass in the scene. And basically, so every so Babylon has an asset manager. And you can load, if you need to load multiple assets for your game, which you will if you have a big game, you know, it's easier to load them all with the asset manager. And they have an on progress method, and you can show things to the loading screen. In this case, we're going to be showing we are loading the scene, and we're going to show the remaining count, and et cetera, et cetera. And then when it finishes, it reruns the render loop on the engine, and it loads everything. If you, like I said, if you've come from a Unity background, this is pretty standard. Actually, a little bit simpler. Let me check the messages. All right, cool. And then finally, I have there's a success callback that happens. Okay, but I'm not doing anything right there. All right, so if all runs well, we should see an image of the Earth with some mountain terrains, and then we're going to have a sphere in the middle. Cross your fingers. And I'm tired of it saying Laravel right there. Let's change that. Change this to Jerome's Game World. It crashed. Alright, so why did it crash this time? Type error, cannot read, run render loop of undefined. Run render loop of undefined. I'm calling this dot engine. Has the engine even been? Oh, that needs to be that. Promises and closures, callbacks. All right, boom, shakalaka. So as you can see, you know, maybe I made this world too big because the mountains aren't really that prominent. Let's go ahead and make this world 200 by 200. As you can see, this is why I prefer to do everything in functions. You know, our create game environment function is made up of functions, and it quickly gets overwhelming. It makes it much easier to debug. Where we go? Ground, create from heightmap. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna change this to this dot world width, this dot world height, this dot world divisions, because I'm tired. I'm gonna get real quick and tired of going and changing all those back and forth. So world width equals 200. World height 200. World divisions 256. Boom. Yeah, that's more. I like it. Maybe that's a little too it's actually not working. Maybe that's a little too much, but you guys get the idea. Without that height map, it would just be a flat surface. And yeah. So let's there's our ball right there. Let's see, let's make the ball bigger. Let's see, the sphere, it takes a segment diameter. The segment in diameter, okay. So we're gonna call this sphere segment. Right now it's equal to 16. We'll keep it that way. Sphere diameter. That was equal to like 2 or something. We're gonna make that equal to like 25. Make that a humongous sphere. This dot sphere segment. This dot sphere diameter. I don't see the ball at all now. What happened here? So view. Okay. The sphere is definitely there. Let me just make this. Whoa, there it goes. that sphere? Let's refresh that. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, so now we got this giant sphere. Let's move this sphere up. Let's move it up 10. This is just a giant sphere. All right. Dang, that's still not high enough. I wanna put some shadows and stuff on there eventually. So let's make this. Oh, it's okay. Then it needs to be. That 12 point or shoot, 1/2 of its height. So let's move that to this dot set sphere diameter divided by 2. And there's the reflection. Just move it up, whatever the diameter is. Okay, I've been out here for 47 minutes. Cool. There now. There we go. Now we got a floating ball in space above the Earth, with the Earth with a cosmic background. Here we got the North Pole. Here we got, let's do a aerial view. All right, cool. So we got the South Pole. We got South America. What is this? The Andes Mountains. We got North America. You can see we got the Sierra Nevada, and all that good stuff. And here we got Mother Africa, all drawn disproportionately and out of size, but you know, that's okay for right now. Got Australia. We got some Pacific Islands and stuff over here. We got India and China and whatnot. I'm gonna make this world a little bigger. This is really bothering me. Sorry, just minimize that. Let's make this 300 by 300. Let's do 512 subdivisions. The more subdivisions, the more smooth it's supposed to be. But it's pretty much it. It's pretty much it. If this works, then that'll be it for the stream tonight. Let me just refresh. So I haven't even decided what this game is going to be for a tutorial, but so far, where my mind is headed, I'm thinking, like, I don't know, alien invaders or something like that. Alright, maybe 512 subdivisions was too much. Let's go back to 66 and save. Yeah, that was too much. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I feel like that looks much better. Alright, cool. Alright guys. You see we got some shadow underneath there. Let me add some shadow to the sphere. And then that'll be all for right now. That receives shadows. Let's do this dot sphere that receives shadows. Where is it at? Here we go. Can't tell if that is shadow right there. Is that just I think that is a shadow right there. Refresh this. You see the sun is directly overhead. And this is what it looks like. It has the sunlight cast a ray, like a linear shadow above the plane, just like how it would in real life. And this is pretty much it. This is it for right now. So in the next video, we're going to add some more. We're going to add collisions, and we're going to work on some basic animations. So if you've liked this video, please hit the like button, share it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I will be updating the vlog. I know I haven't posted in a while. I will be doing a lot of updates over the next couple weeks, so there will be a written component to this as well as visual. And don't forget that From Noob to Artisan drops tomorrow, so go ahead and get those pre-orders in tonight while you can. Head over to the website, jeromeparker.com/shop. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you soon.